mic up.
I better know. Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Mike Amos. He's Stephen Curtis, and we're welcoming you into another day of living in paradise, Troy,
That's right.
Alabama.
Great place to live.
No question about it. And of course, hope everybody's doing well. Basketball season is over.
College
in
ranks
the college
is.
ranks, and you can wait forever in the pros
Yeah.
On how long it'll take them to finish up. But again, last night, if you didn't watch it, you missed seeing a great basketball team play, and that was Villanova.
They're very good.
They were led by a young man, little redheaded kid named Dante DiVincenzo, who he scored 31 points as Villanova dominated that game from the get-go, didn't they?
They did. I think they were behind early in the game, just the first quarter.
Yeah.
They were behind a little bit, but they pulled away.
Well, they can do things so well. They hit 10 3-pointers. Of course, we talked about that yesterday, that they would have to, they wouldn't hit 18 like they did in the semifinals. You know, you can't beat a team that hits 18 3-pointers.
No way.
But they came back and got hot in the second half and went on to cruise with a 79-62 win over Michigan and win the national championship. The sophomore guard had 12 points and an assist during the first half to help the Wildcats, who finished the season 36-4, pull ahead. Then scored 9 straight. He scored 9 straight points for Villanova midway through the second period to sort of cap their run. And of course, he was outstanding. You know, you get a kid that's hot, you give him the ball.
That's right.
And that's exactly what they did. Every time down, they gave him the ball, and boy, he was.
It worked too, didn't it?
You're right. He was all over the place, no question about it. So again, basketball season is over with. For you guys that filled out brackets, I don't know how well you did, but
I'm sure
a lot of people took Villanova to win it all.
A lot of people did. I'm sure there were a lot of other parts of the bracket.
I think I took Villanova to win it all myself, and some people took Duke. Some people took Virginia. They got knocked down in the first round. So, but it was a lot of fun, as it is always, and a lot of involvement. From church, I say church secretaries to your secretary. Everybody likes to do a bracket, and in some ways, the people that don't know as much about basketball might have done better in the brackets because they would have picked some of these upsets.
Yeah, that's right. There were a good bit of upsets.
And especially the upset of Maryland, the upset of Virginia in the first round against that team from Maryland. I couldn't even tell you the name of that team, whatever.
I can't imagine any.
But it was a lot of fun, and all you folks in Ozark that filled out, boy, they really get after it in Ozark. A lot of the Will Matthews was on our show yesterday, and they have a lot of fun with it. And same way with the Masters coming up. I know people that they pull from the box, and let's say I got Phil Mickelson. Well, see, I've got a chance to win. You put in a certain amount of money for the prize.
A random name out, how they do it?
Yeah, you just get lucky.
Wow.
Now, some people actually bid on them.
Right.
But it's sort of fun though.
Somebody to pull for.
Yeah. If you think about it, pretty much everybody that plays in the Masters are good because they wouldn't be in there. They don't just let anybody play in the Masters, and of course, a lot of amateurs play in the Masters too.
Right.
But it's going to be a lot of fun, and they start today. Well, they started yesterday with practice rounds, and they'll have a lot of fun. Of course, that's when a lot of my friends go over is to see the practice rounds. Of course, it's just fun just to be there,
Yeah, I told you earlier, I've never had the opportunity to even go to a practice round, but.
Well, it is a beautiful place. Well, I've been over there for the practice round just 2 or 3 times, but enough to be able to focus where the holes are.
Yeah.
You know, in your mind. And of course,
walk the whole course when you went?
Oh yeah.
Did you? Yeah. That's neat.
Yes, and of course that what do they call it? When you turn the corner.
Amen corner.
Amen corner.
Right.
You know, it's where a lot of people watch the tournament because you can see three different,
right.
You know, shots or plays to the hole, and
right.
of course it's very picturesque. The azaleas are in full bloom, they say over there now, and which is perfect.
Right.
Of course, you know, the azaleas were full bloom for Easter around here. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I was in Birmingham, and of course, you know, their flowers are going to bloom a little bit quicker,
right.
or excuse me, a little bit later than us, and
right.
It was perfect, just beautiful. The flowers were, and
love the flowers,
and you know, and made for a great Easter.
Yeah.
I was telling people about that fundraiser that I saw this weekend. And something to think about. You could do a lot of different things with it. But what it was, a group of people raising money for the American Cancer Society and Relay for Life came up with a pretty interesting fundraiser. What they do, they would go to your house or call you on the phone and say, we're with the American Cancer Society. We wonder if you would like to be a part of this fundraiser of what we'll do. You give us $25 and make it out to the American Cancer Society, and we'll put 40 eggs in your front yard.
Wow, for the kids to
kids to pick up the next morning. And they did all of this on Saturday night and into Sunday morning.
Right.
You know, they would go all over the Mountain Brook, Vestavia area where we were, and you know, probably went to other areas too. I think they went to 171 houses, and some of them they left more eggs than others. And if they did leave more eggs than others, you would have to pay for them.
Right.
But let's say they paid on an average of $30 per house.
Right.
And what they did in most instances, they either paid a very little for the. What they did, they had the plastic eggs, you know, and they would put the candy in, little trinkets and little things for kids that they enjoy in every egg.
Right.
And like I said, they would come into the house in the middle of the night and throw the eggs out all over the place. And let's just say that at a minimum, each house paid $30 and 170 houses were involved. And you're looking at
$5,000.
over $5,000 right there.
Yeah.
$5,000 for the American Cancer Society, and they had fun doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, there were some grown-ups, but a lot of kids. Now, wouldn't that have been fun? You're a 16, 17-year-old kid, or maybe 15-year-old kid, and you get in the car and you go out and you stroke Easter eggs over, and then you move on. It's like you're the Easter Bunny.
You know, the Easter Bunny's always hidden eggs in my front yard every night, too, for my kids.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mean somebody else did it?
Somebody did it.
Are you serious? Well, I'll tell you this. My little granddaughter, who is just turned 4 Easter Day.
Really?
She was born April Fool's Day. And the first thing she did, where they congregate for breakfast is at the front of the house and have a big window there.
Right.
And she was sitting there eating her cereal, and she looks out, and she'd already seen her Easter basket.
Right.
The Easter Bunny had already come. She was sitting there eating breakfast, and she starts looking, and you watch her. She's looking, then she goes to the window and says, the Easter Bunny, the Easter Bunny. You know, and of course there was a sign. They put up a sign with the Easter Bunny and said Happy Easter. And she goes running out there, and there were eggs everywhere. And I just thought that was a very unique way to do it. And you could do it with other things. Now we've got coming up for Mother's Day. We've got a couple of cake auctions which we raise money for. For different events and so forth, which we're glad to do on this show.
Right.
But you sit down and people are trying to raise money for different things. I mean, they could have charged $30, or they could have charged we're raising money for cancer, somebody might have given them $100
exactly
to put 40.
That's
I might have,
That's exactly
because you know what? They gave me something back.
That's right. It's
They
not
gave
just
me
a
something
donation.
back. They provided a fun morning for my granddaughter, and I didn't have to do anything.
That's exactly right. Write the check.
So I thought it was a great fundraiser, and you know, you just sit back and think of things. There's a lot of
Right.
things you can do to, and of course you could have, you know, it could have been flowers, it could have been most anything
Right.
you could have done, and
idea.
again, I thought that was very unique, and I want to share that with you again today.
Yeah.
Of course, Easter is a wonderful time of the year, and it was a beautiful Easter for everybody. And
Great weather.
I tell you what, though, going to Birmingham Saturday and then coming back Sunday, you would not believe the crowd of people going from spring holidays. You know, a lot of people
Spring break.
have spring break during
Right.
the Easter weekend, and man, it's just getting to be. They're gonna have to add another lane or something. I don't know what it is.
Do something. They need to have like an emergency lane or
A
something.
friend of mine called me the other morning, said he just got back from Freeport in the Virgin Islands, and went up my friend's tram, Rusty Gibson from
Yeah.
right here in Troy. He and a couple other guys bought and invested into a tram that went up the mountain there in what is it called? St. Thomas.
Yeah.
And and he said he wanted to let me know that he went up in my buddy's tram.
How about that?
And I think he said he paid $40. Of course, once they got up there, they ate and so forth too. They had a restaurant up there, but my friend made a pretty good investment.
How'd he come about
back in the
getting that
'70s?
kind of investment?
Well, back in the '70s, he and a couple other guys from Tuscaloosa, and you know now. You know, from 500,000 to 1,000,000 people a year go up that tram, not only to see the scenery and the views, but there's a nice restaurant up there too.
Wow. Yeah, that's not a bad deal.
Of course, it is a wonderful time of the year to be traveling. A friend of mine also called me and says, I just got back from Disney World. I said, well, wasn't the traffic awfully tough? He said, not so bad. I flew. I said, well, so was the airport pretty busy? He said, well, not so terribly busy. I flew to France. I went to Disneyland in
Wow.
Paris.
Wow.
Johnny Williams,
Did he
my
really?
good buddy, he took his family to Disney World
France.
in Paris.
That's a pretty fantastic trip.
That's right, and you know, a lot of people don't realize that they have a Disney World, but you can, and of course, very unique, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a special adventure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good. I hope everybody's doing well this morning on a beautiful, beautiful day. Can you believe this? Cold weather and rainy weather is coming in tomorrow,
yeah.
or at least by tonight, and it's going to cool it up. You know, it's the last chance to probably work in your flower beds without worrying about stepping on a snake.
You know, there's gonna be a snowstorm just starting at the North Alabama line in
What?
Tennessee up into
Ro, I didn't realize that. And, you know, a lot of people up there for the holidays and so forth, and you know, that's another place that gets crowded.
Yeah,
Gosh,
during
boy,
the-
it gets crowded, and
Yes, it
you know, everybody would think that most of the people go up there during the wintertime, but no, they go up there in the summertime and in the spring,
Right.
because it's not quite as cold
That's
and so forth. But I'm like a lot of people, though. I'd rather go up there and build a fire in the fireplace.
Yeah, that's the mountains to me. So
No question about
I
it.
want to be up there sweating.
Of course, this show is brought to you by the Huddle House on Highway 231 South, a great place for breakfast, the Huddle House, and also a great place for lunch. And boy, they've got more selection of omelets. They make you omelet from most anything.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people on this Atkins diet and so forth. You know, the Atkins diet allows you to eat all the meat.
All
Pretty much,
protein
you
you
could eat
want.
all the eggs, and you
Right.
could eat all the
Bacon.
bacon and whatever.
Right.
And probably the best thing you could eat on an Atkins diet is an omelet,
Right.
because it's got cheese, which you can eat.
Right.
It's got eggs, which you can eat, ham,
Yep.
bacon,
carbs.
no carbs.
That's right.
And it's a no carb diet. And it's a pretty good choice there, you know.
Everybody I know that's ever done Atkins, you can lose the weight, but if you ever come off of it,
Oh
and
yeah.
eat carbs again.
Oh
the
yeah.
weight's
You've
gonna
got
come
you've
right
got
back.
you've got to. Let me tell you this. What the doctor told me the other day is stay away from everything that's white, or excuse me, stay away from everything that's good.
Yeah, that's true.
But you think about it, your carbs, which is your rice and your potatoes,
Flour.
flour, they said sugar. Now it doesn't say milk, but I would think you would stay away. Even though I drink skim milk.
Yeah.
You know, isn't that amazing how you grew up on regular milk, whole milk? You drank milk all your life, but when you started, most people started with 2%, and some people drink 1%.
Yeah.
And then for the last 20 years, I've probably been drinking skim.
See, I don't like skim.
Well, and to me, drinking the whole milk's like drinking a milkshake.
Like buttermilk, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, not of course. Don't give me buttermilk, or you'd have to shoot me.
Yeah, I agree.
Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
Mike Amos
Hey,
calling in from Birmingham. What kind of weather you got this morning?
It's full of overcast right now. I think we're supposed to get some rain today, they said.
And then it's going to get cold again. If you're going to go up in those bushes, you need to go ahead and do it tomorrow because it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get up in those bushes. People fall when they go to the bushes.
Yeah, I had a little spill this weekend trying to do something I wasn't supposed to do. Is that right?
Well, you just went up. Birmingham has a lot of stones and rocks everywhere, and I think maybe hit some loose rocks and fell backwards.
Yeah.
Did you have him in there pruning bushes or something while he was up there for Easter?
I was trying to.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but apparently I was supposed to go in the woods and cut some stuff down. I didn't do so.
Always listen to your parents.
Yeah. Of course, I hear Mary Prater in the background. Is that right?
Yeah, she's up and about. She's been up since 6.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, I know you.
I stayed up too late and watched a blowout basketball game last night.
How about Dante DiVincenzo? What's the deal on him? Where's he from?
I had to look and see where he's from, but he's a great player to watch. It's hard to believe that guy comes off the bench at the 6th.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe he doesn't start. You're right.
I mean, they have so much talent, though. I mean, it's just a lot of fun to watch them play.
That's one of the better basketball teams ever. When you think that team would be hard to beat.
Yeah, their spacing's incredible, and then their big guys are athletic. Shoot the three.
The great UCLA teams had. One of them had Jabbar or Lou Alcindor. I don't know when they changed his name,
Kareem.
But Kareem. And then the other one had Bill Walton. And Walton was 6'11", so was Kareem. He was at least 7 feet. And,
Kareem was 7'3".
I just tell you how dominant Bill Walton was when he played in the championship game. He was 23 out of 24 from the field.
Wow.
23 out of 24. You get the ball inside, he's going to score or get fouled, Yeah. But
it was one of those games where Michigan came out and played really well early on, and you're just like, wow, maybe this will be a good game. But then I told my wife, I said, just watch this. I said, they're so good, they'll be up by 10 before the half. Sure enough, they're up by 9, and then the rest was history. I mean, Michigan just didn't have a chance in the second half.
Yeah, there was no question, and you wonder.
That's going to make Alabama feel good. They got blown out by Villanova, but they definitely got beat by the best team.
Yeah, no question about it.
Right.
And, of course, March Madness is over, and, a lot of these guys now will go to the pros. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, I think you'll have Bodner, the big guy from, Germany, that 6'11" guy from Michigan will go. And then you'll have Brunson, the junior. I don't know if DiVincenzo will go.
What is DiVincenzo? Is he a junior or what?
I think he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
It's hard to turn that money down,
But you know what? You get a kid.
I mean, you really can't risk it, if you could change your life.
Right.
You get a kid that's hot like that, it brings the whole defense out. It just opens up the whole game for the other team's offense. When you got a guy that hits 9 straight shots from or 9 straight points from one area, everybody's got to come out on him, and it's going to leave everybody else open. Isn't that right?
Yeah, he's a great leaper too. He's real good. I mean, real big dunker. block shots. I mean,
How tall is he?
6'5".
6'5", and of course, and he's a very good free throw shooter too, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he went shooting lights out in the second half. He shot pretty well.
Of course,
that crowd last night. That's just amazing how high people stood up for a basketball game in a football stadium. I could never do that.
I know that was
really
in,
can't see much,
in
can
the
you?
Alamo Dome last game. You know, that's a good place to have a tournament because it's got so much to do, and the people, you're around that little river that goes through town, and all these restaurants and hotels. I've been there before to a Final Four, and it was a lot of fun. And you're liable to walk by almost anybody. That's what I liked about it. People will be walking. You're liable to see Bill Walton, or you're liable to see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just walking down the sidewalks there.
Well, I told you,
Or you can sit down on the sidewalk. They had all these restaurants around the river. You sit down, and if you'll stay there an hour, you'll see almost every
people.
major. You're right. A lot of famous people.
How about that?
My wife and I were in Asheville, North Carolina, one of our favorite places to go. And on my 40th birthday, I told you as soon as I walked into the hotel, the Renaissance, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was standing there.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't go there and talk to him or anything, and I saw him go walk into a restaurant. I mean, you're not used to seeing a guy like 7'3" walking around.
Now, who was that we saw in Las Vegas that time that we were and we were there talked to him for about 10 minutes?
We saw Roethlisberger.
Yeah, you saw
really?
Roethlisberger,
Really?
and the boy, he's a big
He's
guy.
a big guy. Yeah.
That was young. That was young Roethlisberger too, when he just kind of I think won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah, Roethlisberger's about 6'7".
Yeah, of course he's was back then was
But
very
the next
approachable.
day, the next day we went to a little breakfast place in Asheville, and all of a sudden this 7'3" guy walks in with a UCLA Letterman jacket on. It was Kareem again. And he probably was about 7 feet from me, but my wife said, "Don't bother him." And then like these two older guys were doing like a Bible study, and they said, "Greatest of all time," just waving at him, this and that. He waved back. They didn't go talk to him. And his wife goes over there, and I'll send a note to the server, and the wife goes over there and gives him 2 autographed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar basketball cards.
Wow.
How tall was his wife?
She wasn't that tall.
Nobody's tall compared to him, though.
Yeah. Of course, he was formerly Lou Alcindor. He came from New York, and they recruited him to UCLA, and the rest was history. They didn't miss very many games, I promise you.
I didn't realize he was 7'3". That's huge.
Yeah, no question about it. And but you know what? Wilt Chamberlain was that tall or more, and he probably outweighed Kareem probably 50 pounds, probably, wouldn't you think? He's a big.
Yeah, I mean, when he was young, they called him Wilt the Stilt. He got big and strong later.
Yeah.
And of course, he played at Kansas. Isn't that right? Didn't he play for Kansas?
I believe so.
And of course,
he scored 100 in a game, didn't he?
Yeah, he scored 100. Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, just get the ball to him every time.
I guess so.
and either scored, but he wasn't a great free throw shooter. I'm sure most of it just came from 2-footers.
Right.
Yeah, I was in Troy yesterday, and it's hard not to go by Sartain and think about the 258 game.
Yeah, people still don't give that what it's due. I was sitting with my son-in-law, who's a big North Carolina fan and big basketball fan, very knowledgeable. And I said, they were talking about this 18 3-pointers that Villanova made the other day. Well, that's unreal. 18 3-pointers. How about this? When Troy scored 258, they hit 52 3-pointers. 52 3-pointers.
Crazy.
That's all you got to say when you tell somebody they scored 258 points. They say, "Oh man, there was no defense. Nobody was out there." I said they were. Well, they do. They'd take a 2-footer, turn around, and throw it outside to shoot a 3.
Yeah.
They were 52 out of 106.
That is unbelievable.
Shooting the threes that day, and of course went on and broke that record, scoring 258 points to a team that scored 147.
Yeah, a real basketball powerhouse.
But I tell you what, though,
DeVry,
to
right?
me, it's a record that probably will never be broken. And I tell you, it's every time I think about it, I think about Rick, who was our SID back then, Mike
Tom Enzi.
Yeah, Tom Enzi.
Yeah.
Get him to tell you how he did it on the scorebook.
Uh-huh.
How you put 258 points on the
Yeah,
scorebook.
there's no room, I'm sure.
I mean, there wasn't any room. And of course, in the first half, Troy scored 230 points. No, excuse me, 130 points.
Right.
Second half, they scored 128 points.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
Isn't that right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it'd be 258.
And it was just
Well,
unbelievable.
they had almost, I guess they'd almost set the record the year before, so everybody kind of knew what was going to happen.
Well, they
Yeah.
scored 214 the year before, and which was phenomenal. And of course, I watched it, and it'll be a big. Let me just say this: most people just don't believe you when you tell them, and a lot of people, even my son-in-law, had never heard that before, Mike.
Really?
At least that's where he acted like he had never heard that story. And of course, you go to the Sports Hall of Fame in Birmingham, and there's a whole section
Right,
with the
dedicated.
net and the ball and
Wow.
all that.
Yeah, I was in school then, I remember. In fact, Maestri came and talked to my fraternity like the week before. He did like a little tour
get
around
you to
campus.
come,
and I remember his words. He said, "We've got the Powerhouse DeVry coming back this week, so we want y'all all to come out there and
I
watch
want
it."
to say it was snowing that day, Mike. Wasn't it snowing outside that day?
I think so.
Huh.
But of course, I've seen a lot of great basketball games over the years that Don Maestri coached, and that's just like him. He was a promoter.
Oh,
Boy,
yeah,
he
he
promoted everything.
Yeah.
And I remember when he had the little girl, beautiful girl, sweet as she can be. She came out on the unicycle.
Barnett girl.
Barnett girl.
Christian.
She would be riding a unicycle.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd come out, and they followed behind her, and they were playing, they were playing that song, what was it, Rock Around the Clock or something like that. And they came out, and everybody was spinning the ball on the fingers,
Really?
and then they had that dribbler. You remember all that, Mike?
Yeah, we did it. We were Showtime dribblers.
Yeah.
But Blake Crow, he still brags all the time because he was the only guy out there that could spin the ball on his finger.
Yeah, but then they had the guy that could spin it on 10 different
They
players.
had Red.
Yeah,
that's
Red,
right.
yeah. And he was a showman. You know what? He paid his way through college doing that.
Yeah, I worked with Andy Sullivan. Andy Sullivan was around in those
Yeah,
early
he sure
days.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
Always tells a lot of those stories.
no question about it.
I mean, the most fun I had though was definitely the airplane contest. I mean, that concept of throwing the airplanes on the floor was the most fun
Yeah,
thing ever when you're a kid.
And back then you could have more than one, couldn't you? You could actually make up
Yeah.
10. That's what the kids did do it before. Before the half was making up. Some of them might have 10.
You won money too.
Yeah.
And they might have 10 planes. They did it this year. I think you could only have one. And you know who won? Danny Lee won.
Yeah, that's right. I remember
Won this year, of course.
They brought the airplane contest back this year.
Yeah,
They did it
yeah,
one
they
time.
did. They did it this year. They did it 2 or 3
I would have loved to
times.
have known that.
Yeah.
And of course, some of them. Now I can remember back in the old gym, the planes coming from the very top, and it would
Yeah, we'd sit at the
and you
very
look
top.
up, and going over your head would be an airplane.
That's right.
But some people were a lot better than others at doing it.
Some people.
And some people, Mike, I think.
We would have guys in school making airplanes.
That's what I was saying. I think a lot of people
Ready to go to
did
the game that
it. I think
night.
a lot of people did it before they even got there.
Yeah,
but
brought 'em in.
it was a great. It brought a lot of kids to the game, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
Those were great days.
Back then, that was the thing to do to go to a Troy basketball game.
I wonder whose
Especially on the
idea
weekends.
that was. Do you know?
I don't know, but he had all kinds of things that I thought was great. Mike, think back, and ladies and gentlemen, growing up in Troy, you were able to do this. You weren't able to do this in Andalusia or Enterprise or Ozark or anywhere like that. But to go all the time to see college athletics and basketball, football, and baseball. Now, baseball.
I remember sitting outside Troy playing Auburn in baseball, and talking to Bo Jackson like it was nothing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just walk out and
Yep.
We'd be out there playing cup ball, and he'd just come over and
All
start.
right, and that's what I'm saying, Steve. Now they would play cup ball. You ever play cup ball?
Oh, we played a lot of cup ball at the
With
rec
your
department
hand,
games.
and let me tell you, they would play. You know, you'd be sitting there watching ball game, and the minute a cup comes hit you by the side of the head, or somebody hit a home run.
Those waxed Coca-Cola
Yeah,
cups
exactly.
were the best.
Exactly, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
But you know, I asked somebody the other day did they ever play cup ball. They never heard of it. But
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I mean,
yeah.
after the football games, we talk about it all the time. I mean, we'd sit
I
out there
could-
after the games.
Yeah, give me a
And play football for about an hour.
give me a broomstick, a practice golf ball, and with a little tape wrapped around it to make it a little bit heavier, and give me a couple of brick or a couple of pieces of wood,
Something to make a base.
and I could play ball all afternoon. And what I'd be playing would be I'd be playing what we call cork ball, but of course it wasn't played with a cork; it was played with a practice golf ball.
Really?
And you
little
know, of
tape
course,
on
we would tape it up a little bit and leave some of the holes
Right.
to make it heavier so you could throw it.
Right.
Well, and we played it. What it is, you could play with two people very easily, and you'd have a rock that signified a single, a rock that signified a double, a rock that signified a triple, and then a rock that that was a home run. And you would throw to him, and 3 strikes, you were out.
Right.
And then the pitcher would go to the
Swap
plate,
places.
and in your mind you're keeping up with the score.
Right.
And I played for hours and hours and hours, and that little old cork ball, they'd be coming in there with that broomstick, and you hit that on the money. Boy, I mean, it was a great feeling. And then that night, you go to the ball game where you're playing baseball. That baseball looked like it was that big around.
That's right.
When you were hitting that little bitty
Great
thing with a
practice.
stick.
Yeah.
And a lot of people call it stick ball, but the other great thing is you can play with 3 people. You know how you did that? You had a pitcher, a catcher, and a batter. If he swung and missed, and the catcher caught it, he's out.
Wow.
That's right. He's out, and he would go to the mound and pitch. The catcher would bat, and the pitcher would go to the catcher position, and you'd be keeping up with the runs because it's imaginary. You hit a ball, and it go by the singles spot.
That one point?
Be one. No, he's
one
on
run.
first base.
I got you.
Then you hit it, and it went by the double spot. Well, he moved all the way from third to third. It'd be second and third.
I got you.
And then the next pitch, he hits it for a single. He scores a run, so he leads by
Gotcha.
1. So he's in his mind. He got that score in his mind, and of
Pretty
course
neat.
you play. Now, if the ball's in the air and you catch it, it's out. If you stop it before it goes by that single mark, he's out.
Wow.
But we used to play 9-inning games. We might play 10 of them
Wow.
in a game, and we kept that field neat and everything. And we played for hours and hours.
Right. I never played that way.
And the thing about it,
I mean, when y'all were growing up, did y'all have fields with lights?
no, we didn't have fields with lights, but we played in my backyard where I was raised, you know. And part of the basement part was brick, and then the wood part was white, and we called it Woodview Field in Brooklyn. That's why we called it. And of course, the kudzu was down on the left-hand side, and we lost a lot of balls in that kudzu. But if it hit above that the brick, the white part, it was a home run.
Wow.
And if it hit the windows and shattered the windows, a lot of times my daddy, who worked at night, would be there, and he'd rake up, and we'd go diving. We'd go diving in that kudzu so he wouldn't see us.
So who played with you most of the time?
Jerry Renfro, my first cousin, played with me. My brother played with me, but more than anybody, Richard Williford, who's now dead. It was usually me and him and my brother Joel. Jimmy Shirley played some, and Keith Chapman played some. But it was only a few people that really knew how to play it.
Keep it up with it.
Yeah, and we had standings and everything.
How about
And we did it with a practice golf ball and a wooden little stick.
How about that?
I could actually, I think you can make a living with it right now. I really believe it, because on the beach it would be perfect for the beach.
Yeah.
And that stick, with that stick and everything, you know, of course the ball gets caught up in the wind and all that, but
Yeah.
I think it'd be perfect at the beach. It wouldn't roll, the ball wouldn't roll very well, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But now listen, that ball's coming in there hard.
Yeah.
Now. Let me tell you something. that ball is coming in there pretty darn hard, and
Right.
you throw curveballs too, you
Yeah, you
know.
can spin those
So we
balls.
learned how to hit a curveball and that
Good
type of
practice.
thing. And then another thing too, you know what I'm talking about being bat blind, don't you?
Yeah.
You're a catcher.
Can't
Well, let me tell you something.
work on
That guy that was a catcher, you know, like I said, if you swing and miss, he catches it, he's out. Well,
Great training.
none of our guys were bat blind. They all could catch it, but there were a lot of people who couldn't catch because
Yeah,
they were
they
bat
close their
blind
eyes every time.
because that bat kept them from
Right.
catching the ball.
How about
Were you bat blind, Mike?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we grew up playing wiffle ball, but we'd put tape around the
that's
wiffle
right.
ball.
Yeah.
That's right. Make it heavier, you know, so you
Yeah.
can throw it.
you have a long, skinny yellow bat?
Yeah, but I mean now,
Yeah.
I mean it's just better to go inside and play video games.
I would,
Yeah,
I would like to know. I would like to have a
I
penny.
mean, I'll be honest with you. When I was a kid, if I didn't have holes in my blue jeans and patches, I mean something was wrong.
Playing knee football.
That's right.
Well,
Playing
no,
knee. You remember playing knee football in the den?
I mean, we were outside. We were either playing kickball, football, baseball. I mean, basketball, spotlight, building a treehouse.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, Wee Willie Buckhawk.
Right.
You know what that was? You catch the guy and you hold him and you say 1, 2, 3, Wee Willie Buckhawk. Some people were so excited they couldn't quite get it out of the mouth, and he wasn't called until you could say 1, 2, 3, Wee Willie Buckhawk. And then kick the can. Everybody remembers kicking the can.
We rode our bikes a lot too. Did y'all do that up on Crow Hill?
Yeah, but it's so
Yeah,
hilly. Though,
we
you know.
got real big into skateboards. That was our big thing.
They were big
Yeah.
in the skateboards. In fact,
Paul Outlaw had
yeah,
a
that's
little
right.
thing,
You
didn't he?
remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Paul Outlaw.
See, the whole town knew about that, Mike.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
we had
Stephen.
college kids. We had college kids coming over and using it. Well,
Yeah.
let's don't say Paul built it. Tommy Outlaw was a big builder. And he built
Right.
But
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
let me tell you,
we got it. We got into that more than anything. But then we were spoiled kids. So when we were little kids, everybody had four wheelers too.
yeah,
Right.
that's right. They, 5 and 6 year olds were riding 4-wheelers. But I'll tell you something that they came up with that was quite unique. During the 4th of July, and
Well, it
The
wasn't unique.
Rockets.
It was dangerous. We
the Rockets, they had the Rockets, and they came up. Tell
we
me
buy PVC pipes and shoot bottle rockets.
Oh my
All right,
God.
well, and they would have have a strap on it. They look like guys walking around with machine
we turn them
guns.
into guns.
Yeah.
And what they do, they would take that penny rocket, light it, and drop it down the PVC pipe and shoot it.
Y'all shoot it at each other?
No, well, they might
So,
probably do.
yeah, I mean, we're lucky nobody's eye got lost.
Yeah.
Our hand blew up. We were
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
But
We shoot Roman candles out of our hands. I mean,
well, that was crazy. A lot of that was crazy, and it was unique that they came up with something like that. I would much rather them have something like that with a PVC and shoot it up in the air.
You really
than
don't
to
want
do it
your
with a
kids
hand.
mess with fireworks much at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
right.
I agree.
And like back when I grew up,
I mean, look at the guy from the New York Giants, that Pierre Paul, multi-millionaire, and blew off his hand almost.
Right.
and it did ruin his career. I'm sure it
Well,
did. didn't it?
he's only got like 3 fingers on one
Oh
hand.
God. Well, I know this. We had what they call cherry bombs.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was a powerful thing that you didn't want to blow off in your hand. And then we had TNTs. They were little silver, which were powerful.
The big firecracker?
Yeah, big firecracker.
Yeah.
And
Well, see, back then the football coach also sold fireworks, Ronnie Gillen.
oh yeah, that's
I
right,
forgot
Ronnie
about that.
Gillen. Of
I
course,
forgot about that.
you know, I noticed that his son had been given a 10-year contract to stay at Livingston, Mike, or West Alabama.
West Alabama, yeah, that's great.
Isn't that amazing?
The Chad?
Yeah,
Really?
they gave him a
10 years?
10-year. Isn't that
Wow.
right, Mike?
That's right.
They gave him a 10-year. I don't know how much money they were talking about, but that's a pretty good job
That is a good deal.
for a young guy.
absolutely.
You know,
It's
like
not Chad, it's the youngest Gillen.
Oh, okay.
yeah, and of course he.
Chad and then Tara was around my age. She was one of Stacey Beer's best friends.
Well,
So,
and I'll tell you this.
it's the youngest Gillen. He played quarterback there.
Yeah, he
Okay.
played
Yeah,
quarterback
I
at
don't
Livingston,
remember
really
him.
good. Of course, his dad was a good coach, and of course, his dad was best friend was Jay Jeffcoat, and
Right.
they coached together down. He followed Jeffcoat to Charles Henderson, and then Jeffcoat went to Pensacola, and then he went to
He followed
Gillen
him
went
back
to
down.
Pensacola. Yeah.
That's right.
So it's great people, and
Yeah.
hope everybody's having a good morning this morning on Today in LA. Whether I was telling somebody last night, you can watch this on Facebook every morning live from Hong Kong. Are not live. We're not live from Hong Kong, but people
That's
watching us are.
We may be
And,
on there.
Did Johnny Williams watch you when he was in Switzerland?
Yeah, I don't know if he did or not, but somebody out there on Facebook, if you're out there watching us, dial that number, area code 334-670-0052. Area code 334-670-0052. So wherever you're at this morning, other than Troy and Pike County, give us a ring.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
And we'd love to hear about it. Of course, the Masters week, everybody's excited, and you know, people say, why do you watch golf? Listen to this, Mike. People ask me all the time, why do you like to watch golf so much? He said, I think it's the most boring thing to watch in the world. Gosh,
It is not
to
boring.
me, it is not boring because because there's so many great golfers out there. But you've got so many favorite players. At least I do.
Yeah, me too.
I like Speed. I like Mickelson. I love Bubba Watson. I really,
Yeah.
everybody talks about nobody likes Bubba Watson.
I like Bubba.
I like Bubba Watson. And
Self-taught.
but you have so many people that you pull for, and of course Tiger's out there for everybody to either love or hate.
That's right.
I think Tiger
Yeah,
brings.
Fred Couples played with Tiger yesterday and has been raving about the way he looks. He thinks he looks like the old Tiger.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, and of course Couples.
Fred Couples is about 60 years old, and he always plays the Masters.
But you
He's
know
always
something
played
about
well.
Fred Couples, though, Mike? He still hits it over 300 yards. He's
Yeah.
still a long hitter. And, you know, that's the only difference right there in the older guys and the younger guys is that, the young guys hit about 325
Yeah.
and 330. And these guys, but you take an older guy that can still hit it, he
They
can
can stay
still
in
play
there.
with
That's
him.
right.
You're right.
That's right.
'Cause most
Yeah.
all of them can chip and putt with him, you know.
That's
One thing I would love to see, I would love Tiger and Phil to be in contention come Sunday. That'd be awesome.
Of course, Will Matthews was here yesterday.
I think Justin Thomas and Roy McIlroy are probably going to be your favorites.
Yeah. Boy, how many great players out there, though. A lot of people like.
We're not even talking about Dustin Johnson.
And
Yeah,
I tell you what, I like McIlroy. I like the way he acts. He's not a eye guy. You know, he's a first class guy. Most all of them are first class guys. Who's some guys out there that you love to hate, Mike? I used to not like Tiger because of he was just so cocky. But if you're as good as he is, you can be cocky.
I'm not a big fan of Stinson.
You're not.
Henrik
Yeah,
Stenson.
Hendrick Stinson. I don't really care for him too much.
He's the most physical guy out there. You look at him, hey, he looks like a big old fine tight end. He's about
I've never
6'4".
been a big Justin.
Got big old biceps.
He's a big guy.
What now?
I'm not a huge Justin Rose fan either, but I mean he's a good. I mean a lot of people like him. I'm not a huge fan of him.
Well, I'm not, because I hate to say this. I'm prejudiced toward Americans. I want Americans to win.
Right.
I'll just tell you that up front.
Right.
Ain't that terrible?
There's
But I
nothing
want
wrong with that.
American guys to win. And you know what?
right.
Over there, they want
They
their
want
guys to win.
That's true.
That you can tell. That's why there's so much competition in the Ryder Cup, Mike, is because the other ones want to win so badly.
true.
Mike, let me put you on hold a minute. I'll be right back with you. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, it's Will Matthews.
Will Matthews, man. Hey, your ears must have been burning. Will, how you doing?
Hey, Will.
Pretty good, pretty good.
All right, I'll put you on hold a minute. Now, if I lose you, you come right back now. Come right back.
I always struggle with this.
I think they got it. All right, wait a minute. I can't see one thing. This one. Are you on now, Will?
Yes, sir.
Mike, you on? Hey, Mike.
Don't have mine.
I lost Mike. Will Matthews is on. Are you on your way, Will, or when are you leaving out?
Well, my daughter's coming to get me at 8:45, but I got to tell you this. This is hilarious. I went to McDonald's to get a cup of coffee, and I'm making my order, and I'm taking the Beagles to Bed and Biscuit to stay while we're gone.
Yeah.
And one of them jumped out the window, and I had to chase her down. She ran. Oh, it was awful.
And
I
then
held
what-
up the drive-through. It was terrible.
I didn't know Beagle hounds could do those things.
Well, she went straight out the window where I was ordered. Jumped.
It's a dangerous little area too, isn't it? lot of
yeah,
cars.
yeah, a lot of cars there on that in that general area. You're
Yeah,
right.
they were, and you know, held everything up till I
Well,
grabbed
hey, they don't want to go to the kennel, man. They don't want to go to the kennel.
Oh, they like going to the kennel because there's other dogs there.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, of course, Will Matthews calling in from Ozark this morning was on our show yesterday. Will, sorry about cutting you short, but I watched the replay and it was real good. And of course, you talked a lot about golf, and you know, we were just talking, Will, about the golfers we like and the golfers we don't like. I can't help but like folks be sort of root for the kids from the United States. And I reckon that's why there's so much competition in the Ryder Cup. You know, the guys from overseas, they want to beat the Americans, don't
Right.
Oh, certainly. Well, here's where the money's at. It is here.
they? I know, yeah, exactly. And of course, you know, but they want to say that, hey, we play better golf in Europe than they all do in the United States. Isn't that right?
Yeah, they play pretty good, but they play some really. They don't play the caliber courses these guys play here.
Yeah.
What brought up this subject was so many people say, how do you watch golf? It's the most boring thing in the world. To me, it's one of the most, I'd rather watch golf than most anything, wouldn't you?
Well, that golf tournament Sunday was as good as you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And of course, and you watch these guys and what they're doing, they're excelling in unbelievable pressure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you know, you talk about, you see a batter get up with a runner on second, third, and 2 outs and 2 strikes. You know, he's got to come through. But it's nothing like this. Golfer has to hit every shot
That's right.
for about 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite golfer? Who would you like to see win the Masters?
I want to see Phil Mickelson win it. There's no question.
I would too.
Yeah.
I like Phil Mickelson too.
He's
Why do
fun to
people
watch.
like Mickelson? Yeah, I think it, and I don't know if he's as good a guy as he portrays to be, but he's a good old guy type guy, individual, wouldn't you say?
He's the antithesis of Tiger Woods. He's a good guy, good family guy. He doesn't brag. He just goes out there and does his best.
He really doesn't, and he seems like he's a real clean cut individual. Now, I tell you something that I bet he had probably $500,000 on that game.
There's no question. He
I
likes
mean, he bets on ball.
Oh, yeah.
And he probably won, don't you think? Hey, that was a pretty easy one to win last night, didn't you think?
I would think I didn't give Michigan a chance, and Michigan led early, but
Yeah.
then they got blown out.
Yeah.
And you think about it, most everybody, I think the line was 7. I think Vegas had a hard time with that one last night.
They probably took a beating.
Yeah,
They sure
I bet
did.
They did at 7.
Because let me tell you, this Villanova team is one of the best ones I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That guard for Villanova was
Yeah.
as good, and then they bring a guy off the bench who had 31 points.
Yeah.
DiVincenzo, his last name DiVincenzo, reminds me of a golfer named Roberto DiVincenzo, who got rooked out of a championship, didn't he?
Well, let me tell you, that was my first Masters, Mike.
Really?
I want you to hear this, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, this is what happened. I can tell I was there. I went the whole tournament. It was my first Masters. I was 11 years old. Well, DiVincenzo shoots a 65 the last day. It had played tough for 3 days. I mean, the wind was blowing and all
And
that.
he's from Mexico, is that right?
He's from Brazil.
Oh, Brazil, okay.
Argentina. He's from Argentina. Anyway, the last day was a shootout. I mean, all the big names, Nicholas Palmer, all of them. Well, DiVincenzo shoots a 65, and he's in the clubhouse. And Bob Goldby's on the last hole, and he's got to par the hole to tie him and make a playoff the next day. Back then, they did an 18-hole playoff.
Yeah.
Goldby hits it in the woods on 18, and it hits a tree and bounces all the way back in the fairway. I mean, it couldn't have done that in a million years. And then he hits the ball on the green, and I bet he was 100 feet from the hole, and 2-putted to tie. So they said, well, there's going to be a playoff tomorrow. Well, DiVincenzo signed his card. He had birdied 17. his playing partner, Tommy Aaron, put a 4 where he made a 3. And he didn't catch the error, and he wrote it down. He wrote it down. These dogs are going crazy.
Oh.
He wrote the score down to 4 instead of the 3, and he signed his card. And guess what? He got stuck with a par.
Oh
Wow.
gosh! Now he was from another country. He probably didn't even speak good English, did he? Somebody probably should have advised him, don't you think?
Well, I mean, back then it wasn't like it is now. That mistake cannot be made now. They've got electronic scorekeeping and all that. They double and triple check.
I remember that happening, and
Wow.
and it was
tragic.
yeah, it was no question about it.
That was the rule. That was the ruling.
Did y'all know it was going on when it happened? I mean,
Oh, they knew immediately after he turned in his card there was a problem.
Yeah.
wow.
Let me tell you what separates the Masters and Silver Wave. One thing, it's probably the most beautiful golf course in the world, but another thing is the way they do things. Now, tell me, what will there be for the average person like me to eat at the tournament?
Oh, the food is really cheap. I mean, you can get an egg salad sandwich for $1.50 or a ham sandwich for
And they wrap it in brown paper, don't they? Green paper. Okay, all right. Do they have hamburgers and hot dogs?
No, there's no cooked food.
No cooked food. So they'll have ham and they'll have bologna or they'll have chicken salad. Is that right?
Yeah, for me.
But no hot dogs or hamburgers.
Hey, a buddy of mine, Neil Armstrong, posted a picture on Facebook this morning of the menu. And
All right, here's the menu right here, Will.
for sandwiches, egg salad sandwich $1.50, pimento cheese sandwich $1.50, barbecue sandwich $3, club $2.50, a chicken wrap $3. That's the most expensive thing on there. It's a chicken wrap and a chicken
Yeah.
sandwich.
All right.
You know, drinks are $2, chips are $1.50. Just
How about beer? What would beer cost?
it doesn't. Yeah, $5 for beer
Uh-huh.
and $4 for domestic beer.
Well, that's
Those are the
something.
most expensive things, but the food is, like you said, Will, super cheap. That's amazing.
No question about it. And of course, it's just tradition, and it will. And then, of course, the White Masters, they have very little commercials, and that's another thing they do on purpose.
Right.
Isn't that right?
That's right. They do.
They're not trying to make a bunch of money. Is what we're saying. Isn't that right?
Hey,
Will, now, if somebody was fixing to take you to the kennel, wouldn't you be upset too?
oh, they love the kennel. It's bed and biscuits. They love it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Now, where were you spending the night tonight?
Now we're gonna be in Aiken, South Carolina tonight.
Aiken, South Carolina. That, of course, that's a little bit above Augusta, isn't it?
Right. Do what now?
Isn't that a little bit above Augusta?
It's about 25 miles away.
Yeah.
It's not far.
And of course, you'll go in. You're gonna watch. What days will you be able to watch?
We're gonna go tomorrow, and then I've never seen the.
So you're leaving tomorrow.
We're leaving today,
Oh, okay.
and we're spending tonight and going spending Wednesday night, and then coming back Thursday.
Yeah. Now, is your daughter a big golf fan, or is she there to buy all the hats and T-shirts for everybody?
Well, she loves it. I mean, she really does. And all my children love going to Masters.
Yeah. Of course, they've been raised around golf. Is that right?
Yeah, and none of them ever played golf.
Really? Even your boys?
My boys never played golf.
Isn't that unreal?
Wow.
Especially, since you were such an avid golfer, All right, well, can you talk?
My son that my dogs are gone now, so I can talk. My son that works for the president now, he has started playing golf because everybody up there plays golf.
Well, one thing about the president, he loves golf. He plays golf regularly, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's probably played 100 times.
He's probably maybe the best president golfer ever. Is that right? Was he better than Ike? Was he better than Ike?
Oh yeah.
Ike was pretty good though, wasn't he? Eisenhower was, wasn't he?
Ike was terrible.
Well, he loved to play. He played all the time.
And there was a tree at Augusta.
Yeah.
They called it Ike's tree.
Oh, did
They
It
took it
was
down.
a tree, and it for a good golfer, it really didn't come into play. But Ike, they said Ike hit it every time.
Oh, God.
Middle of the fairway, he couldn't
Yeah.
get it up over the tree.
Didn't they remove that tree?
Well, now, is this...
Lightning struck it or something, and they had to take it out, so it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one of our presidents hit somebody, didn't they? Who was that hit somebody in a big tournament?
That's Gerald Ford.
Yeah, Gerald Ford.
Really?
Was that at the Masters or where was that?
No, that was at the Bob Hope tournament out in California.
And he actually hit somebody. I wonder if the guy sued him.
Uh-huh.
Well, Mike, when I was in college, my aunt lives in Memphis, still does. She's 81. She plays golf. She shoots her age, Mike, and she's 81.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Golf. Well, she had me come down during the Danny Thomas tournament in 1976, I think, or maybe 77. I was going to college. And I went out there, and Gerald Ford in the Pro-Am had a hole-in-one.
Really?
Did he really?
Yes, and he was not a good golfer.
Yeah.
But he made a hole-in-one. The next day, I was out there. Al Guyberger shot the first 59 ever
Yeah.
shot on
Yeah,
PGA
I remember
Tour.
that.
Wow.
Was in Memphis at Colonial.
Yeah. You know, I
That's been a long
Yeah.
time ago. That's been 41 years ago.
you know, if we could get Al Guyberger on the phone, he would talk about it because almost every one of the tournaments in Birmingham, you know, he's playing in that seniors group. He loves to talk
yeah.
about it to most anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And of course, he's probably in his late 70s now, wouldn't you think?
He's got to be over 80.
Yeah, exactly. No question about it. If you had to pick an older player right now to go out and play against, who would you not want to play against?
You mean of the senior tour?
Yeah, one of the older guys. The guy.
I'd say
Couple.
Bernard Langer. Bernard Langer is probably the best senior player.
Oh yeah, I know
Yeah.
that. But now how old is he? About 70 or what? How old would you
Yeah.
say Langer?
He's my age. He's probably 61.
All right. But now I'd say like 80 or over. Who would you not want to have to play?
I'll tell you, Gary Player still
Yeah,
plays
Gary-
well.
that's
He's
what
in
I'm
his
saying.
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
And he'll be playing in the par
Yeah.
3 tomorrow with Nicholas.
He's probably the most underrated golfer of them all, wouldn't you say?
He was a great player, no
Yeah.
question.
And of course, you know, I love those guys. You had Player, you had Dr. Kerry Middlecoff, you had Gabe Brewer, you had one of who's the fancy dresser that Sanders. You remember Doug Sanders?
Doug Sander. Yeah,
he had, ladies and gentlemen, he owned 100 pair of shoes, didn't he? And he was famous for his shoes.
Really?
Did you know
I
that,
didn't know
Will?
that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And of course, he would match his shoes up with his pants, and everybody was always excited about what color shoes he had on.
Yeah. Oh
But-
yeah.
But you could go 0 and on. Chi Rodriguez. Have
He
you ever
was-
seen him hit?
He was fun to watch.
Yeah, I love to watch him. Hit practice balls. He's a good example of you don't have to have a perfect swing to be a good golfer.
I've got an autographed picture of Chi-Chi in my office.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And of course, who's the guy with the dark sunglasses? Miller Barber.
Miller Barber.
As I told you, Jimmy Shirley and I used to play golf together a lot years ago, and his favorite player was Miller Barber.
Mr. X.
But you know, you think of how many golfers are out there and how well known most all of them are, you know, and it's just great
money.
to see all of them out there, you know. But probably the greatest golfer of all time that didn't win the money he was supposed to win was the great one that won 118, 113 tournaments. You know what I'm talking about, Will?
I have no idea.
Well, yeah, you do. Sammy Snead. Sam Snead, didn't he win more golf tournaments than anybody, or did
Yeah, he won 81 PGA tournaments, and Tiger's won 78, I think.
and let me tell you this: the sad thing about it,
The money wasn't there back then.
Tiger probably made more money in one tournament than Sam Snead did in his
career.
whole career. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Sam Snead never made probably $1 million in his whole career.
Yeah.
Wow.
And another little trivia out there, ladies and gentlemen: who is the greatest golfer that you know of, Will, that never made a hole-in-one?
Ben Hogan.
Ben Hogan.
Really?
Even in practice,
Wow.
And some smarty sports writer asked him the question one time, and he said, "Now, Mr. Hogan, you've done everything. Why haven't you ever made a hole-in-one?" He said, "Because I never shot toward the pin."
But you think about it. I mean, even in practice, he's never hit a hole-in-one.
Never.
Amazing.
The ball has got to do something special, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I've had a bunch of them.
How many have you had?
I've had 15.
Amazing.
Wait a minute, Will. Wait a minute. I want somebody to be able to call up and tell me that they saw one of those 15.
Oh, now I'll tell you, I had when I turned 40 years old, I'd made 13 hole-in-ones.
13 hole-in-ones in practice or playing with somebody?
Playing, never in practice, playing.
Yeah.
All right,
Isn't that
now,
amazing?
between the age of 40 and 60, that's 20 years.
Yeah.
Guess how many I made?
2.
None.
None. Okay.
I've made two. I made two last year.
Wow.
So now I've got 15, but I was stuck on 13 for 21 years.
Wow.
All right. Well, you're a better golfer when you played with a persimmon wood, wooden wood, other than the equipment they play with now. Of course, I know you probably hit it further, but did you actually play better when you hit the persimmon wood?
Oh God, yes. I was all SEC 3 years, but that was with persimmon and the softball.
What was the pretty one? The pretty one that had the gold back to it. That pretty. Who made that? Was that TaylorMade? Who made that club? The persimmon wood that had the gold. The back part of it was gold.
Oh, you're talking about those? Those were. They were.
Top Flight or.
No, let me think. The company's not even in existence anymore. Power Built.
Power Built, yeah.
Really?
That was a good-looking golf club, wasn't it? A lot of people played Power Built, didn't they?
I played Power Built.
And then back then, the bright, shiny wood was the McGregor. Is that right? You remember the McGregor wood?
Oh yeah, they were like
It's a light wood. Isn't that right?
They called it blonde persimmon.
Yeah.
If you had one of those right now, hey Mike, if you had one of those right now, you could get probably $3,000 or $4,000.
Really? Gosh, so they were very common, weren't they? A lot of people had those, didn't they?
It's a collector's item, I'm telling you.
Isn't that amazing?
Is there anybody that plays now with a real wood? I mean, or
No.
I would assume not.
Hey, I wonder how. I wish they'd have a tournament that had to use the real wood.
Be interesting.
Well, I've played in a tournament with Hickory shafted clubs before.
Yeah.
Really?
And you talking about you can't hit a ball 150 yards with those things. I mean,
All right, back. All right, let's move back a little bit. All right, Tiger and the guys now, the young kids now, especially the kid from that played at Alabama, that's Thomas. Thomas probably weighs 150 pounds and he hits the ball 320 yards, doesn't he?
right.
Yeah.
All right. What would in the heyday with Nicholas? How far with those wooden woods was he hitting the ball?
He probably hit it 280, 290.
280, 290, and now everybody talks about take a good slow backswing and hit through it. Well, Palmer had the fastest backswing you'll ever see in golf, was Palmer as good? He wasn't near as good a golfer as Player and Nicholas, wouldn't you say?
Well, it depends. When Palmer was on, he was great, and when he was off, he wasn't great.
Yeah.
That was the difference.
But what I'm saying though, you remember how fast his backswing was?
Oh yeah.
And you know what? He had a cigarette in his mouth most of the years he played, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a great player, and he really, I tell you what, Palmer just was Tiger Woods back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the most underrated golfer back there was, he's dead now, but he was a great putter. What was his name?
Billy Casper.
Billy Casper. Billy Casper was probably the most underrated of all those golfers, and only maybe Nicholas was better than he was. What would you say?
Casper won a lot of tournaments. Now, he won 50 or 60 tournaments.
He was considered a great putter, wasn't he? Wasn't he considered a great putter?
Yeah, he never played in England, so he didn't win the British Open.
Why didn't he? He didn't want to go across the ocean?
No, he didn't. He was scared of flying.
Wow.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm going to put you on hold a minute. I'll be right back. Yeah, you're on today in L.A. How you doing?
Hi, just call my guy.
All right, let me see if I can do this. I tell you, I have the worst problem. All right, let's see. Hold,
Who do you have on?
Will.
hold, and hold. Well,
You gotta do pick
yeah,
up.
let's see. Where's the
Pick up.
conference? I got to
That's
go
this
conference. Conference, bang. All right, come in and go back to there.
Pick one.
Yeah, pick one and come here. Well, that's not gonna work.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Keeps going back.
All right, I think we got you. You on now? Who's on?
Will's on.
Mike, you on? All right, we
Got 'em
got
both.
you.
I don't know how you did that. Started mashing
But
buttons.
I've had a lot of practice. Everybody said, "When are you gonna learn how to do that?" Well, Mike, we're talking about golfers, and we've got Will Matthews on the other line.
Hey, Will, are you going to be there today? They say that Tiger and Phil are playing a practice round together. Is that possible?
Yep, that's going to happen today.
Tiger and Phil.
He's
But
talking
you-
about the biggest gallery maybe of all time to go watch a practice round.
Oh man, do you think? All right, now let's be serious now. Do you think they probably got a little side bet?
Oh yeah, well, they do that all the time. All of them do.
I mean, they're liable to be playing for $50,000, which is chicken feed to those guys,
No, they don't play for that kind of money.
They don't.
No, they'll play for a couple $100 or something.
Talk about pocket change.
Oh yeah, talk about pocket change. But Mike, we're talking about, all right, everybody wants Mickelson to win. Now I tell you, I really like Bubba though. I like Bubba. Do you like Bubba, Will?
He's playing great. The problem with Bubba though, he's not a great putter.
Well, but he's gotten better though, hasn't he?
Well, he's still having struggles.
Yeah.
But
Let me ask you this. When he tells everybody, and he tells the whole world this, he said, "I've never taken a golf lesson." Surely he's had some kind of tutelage over the years. He played at Georgia. Don't you know his golf coach probably gave him a lesson or two?
Actually, Mike, he never played at Georgia. He went to Georgia. He played at Faulkner down
Faulkner
in
and Babinet.
Really?
And he went to Georgia, and I think he had a little partying problem or something, and he never really played at Georgia.
Boy, there are more Georgia golfers out there than any other school. Isn't that right?
I don't,
Mike, who are some Georgia golfers out there?
Kisner, Brian Harmon, Chris Stroud. No, not Chris
Look at
Stroud.
this. Look at this guru.
Harris English.
Where'd Kushner play?
Kushner played for
He
Georgia.
played at Georgia, didn't
He played Georgia Tech.
he? Georgia Tech. That's right.
All right, and
Kuchar.
also, he's one of my favorites.
I
Now,
like
let me tell you, I might like him better than anybody. I like Kuchar or whatever.
Well, he's never won a major.
No.
And then our boy from Alabama played at Tech too. Our boy from Florence,
Stuart Sink.
Stuart Sink. played
Didn't
at
Kuchar
Georgia
have
Tech.
a very great tournament when he was the amateur at the Masters his first year?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
He's playing with Tiger.
Yeah, that's right. I
Now,
remember
Will Kushner is 6'3" or 6'4", isn't he? He's a tall guy, isn't he?
He's tall. Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And so is the guy from Florence. He's tall too, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, Sink's about 6'5".
Yeah. So they're getting to be a lot more taller golfers now. Is that right?
Yeah, Sink won the British Open, and you never heard from him
Yeah.
again.
Right.
All right. Now let me ask
I
this.
know, and he won the British Open from Tom Watson. I wish Tom Watson would have won at 59.
But I'll
Yeah.
tell you something about Sink. He's won a lot of money. You watch him. He's in the top 25 almost every time. He's won money. He's won a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Now let me ask you something, Will. All right, back in the old days, you didn't see a lot of. Weiskopf was pretty tall, but like today, you look at Kuchar. Now, is he allowed to extend the length of his golf club?
Oh, they can play play with whatever they can grab.
No, I mean what I'm saying. If could they play with a driver that is 3 inches longer than everybody else's?
Certainly, there's no limitation on the length of a club.
All right. How about lead weights on clubs? Are they allowed to put lead weights on their club?
Mike, back when I played, I always put lead on the back of my irons.
Yeah.
But nowadays, they've got these cavity back irons. All the irons already built in. I mean, it's completely different than playing blades back when I played.
All right. So, but is it legal to put?
Yeah.
It is. I mean, your 5-iron could weigh a lot more than somebody else's 5-iron.
Yeah, if you can swing it.
Yeah.
Now they changed the way that they can, those long putters, they changed that a few years ago, didn't they?
Yeah. No more long putters. Is that right?
You can't anchor it to your
It
chest.
doesn't matter the length, it's just you can't anchor it up against your body
Okay.
or something. Is that
Now,
right?
you would have thought, has that come into play with Langer? Langer, that's where he puts, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know it's.
Has that come into play with that the seniors group?
Langer's had to change the way he puts, but he's still good though.
All right, but so you can't putt with that long extended putter like you used to.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
he
can't.
still got it.
You can't anchor it up against your
And
body.
our guy, and of course he's one of my all-time favorites. He putted with a putter like that too, didn't he? He played with Tiger yesterday.
Who? Couples?
Couples
No,
used to
he
use
didn't.
that putter too, didn't he?
I don't think so.
I think he went to that when he played the senior tour, maybe.
But age evidently is a big difference because you very rarely ever see one of these guys, these older guys, maybe Tom Watson in the British Open not too long ago, but you never see them really play that well in these big tournaments. Don't you agree? Does age have a big difference? Does age have a big difference?
Sure it does. When you got to play a 4-day tournament, they're wiped out by
And having to walk the whole time.
Yeah.
Now on the seniors tour, they can still ride in a golf cart, can't they?
Yeah, I went last week to Biloxi to the senior tournament, and I would say probably 75% of them rode carts.
Yeah, because I mean that's wear and tear on your legs, and it has a lot to do with it. Who is probably the most fit golfer out there? Is it our guy from Australia, or is it who's the most fit golfer out there? Would you say?
It's got to be Dustin Johnson or.
Or the guy you don't like?
Look at Roy McIlroy. What kind of shape he's in now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in phenomenal shape.
And Tiger started all the weights, didn't he?
You talking about Adam Scott?
No, the guy
No.
from that you don't like. Who was that? That you said you didn't
Oh, the
like?
Australian.
He's from Sweden. Hinder Stinson.
Yeah, Stenson. He's
Yeah.
a big weightlifter. Wouldn't you say he's fit?
Yeah, that guy's a pretty tough player too.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
a lot of people think that's why Tiger's got so many injuries is that he did a lot of steroids and lifted a lot of weights.
Yeah.
And that's
Jason
what
Day's
caused
pretty
it.
fit too.
Yeah,
From-
Jason
he's from
Day. That's who
Australia.
I was going. That's
he
who I was going to say was Jason Day. Boy, he is fit now. Right now, I would. You give me Jason Day, Stenson. I'm gonna give you my top 5 today. Tiger will be in the top 5. McIlroy, and our buddy from that wears the orange.
Ricky Fowler.
Ricky Fowler, yeah.
He's been playing awful.
Well, hey, he's gonna play well in the Masters, though. He can hit it a long ways.
He's been
You don't think Justin Thomas is going to be in the mix?
Well, you know what? There's so many
I
good
know.
golfers. It's hard to say. I would think Justin Thomas would do well, yeah, because he hits it a long ways. What's the advantage of the long hitter, Will?
Well, they can get to the ball 5 easier.
Well, you know, you're talking away from the mic.
The part.
Can't hear.
Can't hear you, Will.
When they can hit par 5s with an iron, that's the one that it's got a big advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so give me the top 5 guys out there that you think would be in the top 5.
Well, I think Roy McIlroy is going to win. That's what I've said all along.
Okay, but now you've got to have a little bit of luck too, don't you?
I think Roy McIlroy is going to win, and I think
Speed's playing well. All right, who else, Will?
I like Phil, and I like Roy McIlroy, and I like Dustin Johnson. You know, last year he had a fall in his house.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Never got to play, and I think he's going to be ready.
Okay. And then Stetson probably will be there, don't you think, in the top
yeah,
five?
Stetson will be there.
It all
right.
comes down to the par fives too. I mean, how you play 13 and 15. I mean, you got guys that.
How's Sergio playing now? I hadn't seen him. Is he?
I don't know. I don't.
He ain't done a whole lot.
Yeah.
I know he's a good old guy. It's hard for me to root for Sergio.
I always wanted him to win a Masters. So I was glad he won.
I know it. He sure did.
And the guy he beat last year, Justin Rose, is playing good, so he could be in there too.
Yeah, Rose is good. Most of these guys live in the United States, don't they, Will?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And of course they live in
The trend this year is guys in their 40s winning. There's been at least 4 guys in their 40s win this year.
Oh yeah.
I think Poulter's what, 44 or 5? He's in his mid 40s.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he you know, Paul Casey won. He's in his 40s.
Paul Casey's pretty good too. Now I'd almost put him in that top 5. He plays Masters pretty good, doesn't he?
He plays a lot.
He's got like 5 top 10s in the last 8 Masters.
Yeah.
He's a real money guy. He's won a lot of money.
Yeah.
Will, give me the top 5 players in history.
I'd put Nicholas number 1.
Nicholas.
Bobby Jones.
Bobby Jones. Wait a minute. Bobby Jones couldn't hit it in more than 150 yards.
Bobby Jones was great. He retired at 28.
And listen, and it's not fair because his grandson's one of your best friends.
Well, he was. I think if you look at his record, he had like 11 or 12 majors, or maybe 13. I think he had 13 majors, 11 or 12, somewhere along in there, and he came in second in the U.S. Open 4 or 5 times too.
Yeah.
Why did he retire at 28?
Well, back then he was an amateur,
and they ain't paying him money. You know, they ain't paying him money. He could make more money as a lawyer, couldn't he?
I tell you how smart he was. He never went to law school. He passed the bar.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he came from a wealthy family, though, didn't he?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And of course, sophisticated. He probably had a bunch of Coca-Cola stock. And when you say he had a bunch of Coca-Cola stock,
I'd put Tiger number 3, and maybe Ben Hogan and Sam Snead right there together.
What about Walter Hagen?
I don't. He was I think Walter Hagen was kind of a drunk, but
you know what? You'd almost have to put Mickelson in there at number 5, wouldn't you?
No, you put Arnold Palmer.
Oh, wait a minute. Mickelson was better than Arnold Palmer, I guarantee you.
Well, Tom Watson and Arnold Palmer wasn't.
Yeah, but let me tell you this. Now, Will, it ain't no question Mickelson was a lot better than Arnold Palmer, wasn't he?
No, I like Palmer.
I know, but if they went out and played all the time, who would win? Don't you think Mickelson would win?
Palmer at 30 years old.
I know, but we just got through talking about that Palmer. He had his ups and downs, but he had that huge.
I'm the biggest Mickelson fan ever, but he's in the top 10. He's not in the top 5.
Yeah, but he was better than Palmer, I guarantee you. Won more tournaments than Palmer too, didn't he?
You got to look. Nick Faldo's won.
Yeah, now Nick Faldo's pretty good. Now you're right. Well, how do you rate Nick Faldo, Will?
Faldo won several majors. I mean, he was a good player.
Yeah. And Johnny Miller now, he's another one that stopped playing early, but
you can't put Miller. Miller only won 2 majors.
But in his prime, he was as good as anybody, wasn't he, Will?
Who is this now?
Johnny Miller. In his prime. Now, he didn't play very long either, did he?
Johnny Miller maybe won 20 tournaments.
Yeah. But then,
you got to put Tom Watson. He won 8 majors.
Oh, yeah, I like
and
Tom
the Black
Watson.
Knight. Gary Player's got to be number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary Player
won 9.
Oh, yeah, Gary Player, yeah, he needs to be above Palmer. Player needs to be above Palmer. So does Mickelson.
And Gary Player won all 4 majors, and there's not many that did that.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. And he was one of the all-time greats, no question about it. And It's fun to talk about this because there's so many.
Ben Hogan, how many majors did Ben Hogan win?
He won a lot. Now, he had 4 U.S. Opens, I know that.
He's the only one out there that never made a hole-in-one, which that don't mean anything. But you would think the ball would at least roll in the hole at one time.
By accident or something.
Hey, let me tell you something. Miss Locklear, she's got something like 13
Does she
hole-in-ones.
really? My wife's mother, her mom's former husband, Bill Ezel,
Yeah, Bill Ezel.
he hit 2 hole-in-ones on the same hole in the same day in Decatur.
No
years
way.
ago.
No, I've never heard of that.
Hit
now.
one in the morning.
Not the same day.
Hit one in the morning playing with the men, and then went that afternoon with
Bill Ezel.
with Miss Vivian, and hit another one in the
Isn't
same
it
hole.
amazing?
Yeah.
Now, I will say this.
So is that Ezel Catfish Cabin?
No, different folks.
Ezel's from Troy.
Yeah.
But I will say this, that John Archer, the late, great basketball coach at Troy University, after he had open heart surgery a few weeks after that, he made 2 hole-in-ones in a week.
Wow.
One on 17 at Troy, and another was on number 3 at Troy, I believe. But that's quite an accomplishment, isn't it, Will? Or Love?
Right. Absolutely.
And of course, Will said he had hit 15 hole-in-ones. That's pretty good, Will.
Yeah.
Is that more than anybody knows, Art Will?
Actually, there was a retired golf pro. He's dead now, named Bill Kobe,
Yeah.
and he was the pro at Fort Rucker for years, and he had 25 hole-in-ones,
Oh man.
and he kept every ball.
Uh-huh.
I didn't keep any of mine. but
Yeah.
He kept 25 balls, and he had them on a plaque.
Well, now you had to buy everybody drinks, didn't you? Y'all had that. Your club had to have some kind of tradition about that, didn't you?
Mike win a hole-in-one deal.
Yes. Hello.
You there?
I'm on.
Okay, Mike's on. We lost Will. He might have driven into we'll hear from him in a minute. Of course, we're talking about the Masters today, and of course, our commercials are on your screen, and we appreciate them very much. Want to mention our good friends at Dixieland Dental, located 9 miles north of Dothan on Highway 231. Dr. Michael Precise, Dr. John Strength, Dr. Damon Strength, and Dr. Robert Precise make up one of the largest dental clinics in Alabama. Will, are you back on now? So we lost. Let's go back here. Good morning. Are you back on?
Yeah, I'm back on. What I'm saying, we've got a hole-in-one club. It's like $3 a month, and if you make a hole-in-one, it pays for the drinks, and if you and then whatever's left, you get Pro Shop credit. I got $320-something in Pro Shop credit.
Are you serious?
Nobody was out there when I made my hole-in-one. 10 people playing golf that
Wait
day.
a minute. You mean nobody was out there when you made the hole-in-one?
No, nobody. There was like, we had 3 groups in my group. There were 12 of us play.
Yeah.
And that was the only ones there.
Yeah. Well, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Will, we appreciate you calling us today, and I hope you have a lot of fun at the Masters. Does Elizabeth enjoy the Masters, or does she have to go and buy all the loot?
She loves it. She loves it.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, you and your daughter getting away like that. And my daughter and I have a special, we go to New York every year, and we really have a good time. It's fun doing things with your daughter, isn't it?
Oh, she loves it, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you calling today, and we enjoyed it. And hey, call us from the Masters.
All right.
All
Yeah,
right, brother.
I won't be able to because they don't let you take your phone in.
They won't. I didn't know that. They let you, but they will let you take a camera though, won't they?
Tomorrow only. And
Tomorrow.
during the practice round.
Well,
Wow.
get a picture made with Tiger if you can. I know you will.
Oh, I know that's not going to happen.
All right. And out of all those sandwiches, which ones do you want? You like the egg salad, don't you?
I do. My brother, one time over there, ate 8 egg salad sandwiches in one day.
Yeah, but your brother is 6'6" and weighs 300 pounds, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a big boy, yeah.
Wow.
He's a big boy.
All right, Will. Well, you're the greatest. We appreciate you, man.
Y'all have a good one.
Have
Thank
fun.
you.
Enjoy it.
Will Matthews, of course, Mike will probably be calling back in. And,
Yeah.
And let me just tell you this, people. You can say, oh gosh, this guy done everything. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to golf, he's done about everything.
Yes, that's right.
I mean, he's not whistling Dixie. I promise you. He's been there and done that, and
There probably aren't many people on the planet that have 15 hole-in-ones.
and he's also been to 51 straight Masters.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Of course, his dad took him. Just
Right.
like a lot of dads have taken their kids to special events and so forth, and you get an opportunity. Take your child to a special event because he'll never forget it.
Absolutely, that's right.
No question about it. We'll be right back. This show is brought to you by SARA, the Southeast Alabama Rural Health Association, with home headquarters right here in Troy and numerous locations all over the Wiregrass. We'll be back in just a moment.
Here's some Napa know-how for you. Your local Napa Auto Parts store in Troy is under new ownership with an all-new, fully stocked store. Big deal, you say? Big deal, we say. Like the ownership, the store has a new look, too. We're still delivering the same Napa quality and know-how, but we've increased our inventory and are committed to helping you find the parts you need when you need them. So come check us out. We've got the right part at the right price at the right time.
Know-how, Napa know-how.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line that we offer Blue Cross Blue Shield, we offer dental, we offer disability, we offer vision, we offer life insurance, cancer insurance. We also have a 401k where we match up to 4%, dollar per dollar up to 4%. We also have automatic trucks at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. If you go to a truck driving school, we'll reimburse you. And don't forget about the $1,000 sign-on bonus. Money! Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. We help you save for your future.
The new Smokehouse Pizza from Little Caesars is our first pizza with 3 smoked meats. So we got barbecue champion Big Mo Queson to test it out. 8-hour smoked brisket.
Certified beefified.
10-hour smoked pulled pork.
Certified hoggified.
Applewood smoked bacon.
Certified baconfied.
Drizzled with tangy barbecue sauce plus a Smokehouse seasoned crust.
Certified smokified.
The new Smokehouse Pizza. Only $9 and only at Little Caesars.
Back to our show, brought to you by Bancorp South, located on the bypass right here in Troy. My good friend Dale Taylor, and we appreciate them, and also Roadmark, not only in Troy but in Ozark. Roadmark is the place for you go for tires and front end alignments and oil changes.
Yeah.
Want to mention Gene's Flowers on the South Brundage Street in Troy. Of course, Gene's Flowers been around a long time.
In the old skating rink.
When you were buying corsages for your high school sweetheart,
Yep.
you went to Gene's.
Jeans Flowers on Madison
That's
Avenue,
right.
and now bought some for my boys
Yeah.
for their prom.
That's right.
last
Have they had
week.
the prom yet?
Charles Henderson had theirs 2 weekends ago. Both my sons
and you
went.
used Bearfields too, didn't you?
Yeah, they got clothes. Got the tuxes
How
from
much
Bearfields.
did that
and
end
I
up costing you? About $100?
About 120 a piece.
Isn't that
And,
amazing?
yeah,
That you're
130.
talking about something that's gone up.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
when I was in school, a tux was
Yeah.
about $60.
Oh
to
yeah,
rent.
oh yeah. And when
Probably
I was
less
in
than
school,
that.
it was 20 something.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
And if we could afford it.
Yeah, that's right.
But
You do what you got to do.
well, we our problem is now we always had good bands, so we stayed. But most of these kids, they go through lead out and then they're gone.
They do the lead out. They go to the dance thing just for a little while.
We had
but
the
that's it.
swinging medallions on my junior year.
Really?
At the prom, and I can't remember exactly who we had our senior year, but we had the swinging medallions our junior year.
How about that?
Really something. And of course, I want to mention the Messenger. Don't live in Troy without the Messenger. A great
right.
newspaper, and we read it every day. And Charles Henderson baseball team had won the area title.
You know,
so they start playing people, their side, and they wear
That's
them
right.
out.
They had a tough start to the season, coaching change and stuff. But
Yeah.
winning those area games, that's a good thing. So
Pike
I'm
Little
proud of
Lawrence is having a banner year
They're really good,
in
too.
baseball, and
Yeah.
so
Very good.
and their junior varsity went 19-1. Can you believe that?
That's pretty good.
So they're playing good baseball.
Good
and
future.
before long, everybody's going to say, well, if you want to play baseball, you go out to Pike.
That's right.
But now, you want to play baseball, you go to Charles Henderson too.
Both
Great
of them have good
program, both
programs
of
right
them.
now. That's right.
No,
That's right.
no question about it. Of course, everybody's trying to pick a winner of the Masters, and of course that'll be coming up and we probably won't need to really pick them until Thursday. But who do you like?
I love Mickelson to win. It's hard to root against Mickelson. You know,
Yeah.
he's good. So that's who I'm gonna.
Well,
be
I
rooting for.
like the thing about him. You know, he's older and he's calm. He doesn't use profanity.
He doesn't.
You know, they
Good
say. I mean, what I'm saying, he just you could take your daughter and walk around the golf course.
That's
You
right.
wouldn't. He might say, "Oh, shucks," or
That's
something.
right.
You know.
I think he's a good guy. So, who are you pulling for? Who do you wanna win?
He would be one of my first, but Bubba Watson is close. Now,
Bubba
I like
would be fun. I'd like
Watson.
Bubba to be able to win a
And,
major.
You know, he just, you know, he's the old guy that makes everybody say, how does he do that?
Yeah.
You know, hey, that's not the way you're supposed to hit a golf ball.
That swing is
but,
something.
You know, all that swing is awful. You know, a guy, what's his name, that had the crazy backswing, lives down in Pancho Beach. Oh gosh, he's Fury.
Oh, Jim Fury.
Yeah, Jim
Oh,
Fury.
yeah, he's
Everybody
got an
say,
odd
"Oh
swing.
man, ain't no
Yeah.
way you're supposed to hit a golf ball."
Yeah, he can
but
do
as
it.
long as the club meets the ball straight
That's true.
or square, you know, you
That's
don't have to
true.
worry. Is that right?
True. That's true.
And of course, we hope that you've enjoyed our show today. We appreciate you watching. Our sponsors mean a lot to us. So when you walk in or see any of these guys, tell them you watch Today in LA every day. And of course, always we're letting you know who the people are that support our program, and we do appreciate it very much. Good to see you,
Yeah,
my
good to
friend.
be here again.
Stephen Curtis, and of course, tell them about what you're doing later
Yeah.
on.
I'm going to today. You mean? Going
No,
for my
what
election.
you're running, yeah.
Yeah, I'm running for district judge again here in Pike County. The primary election's June 5th, and
Yeah.
want everybody to go
It'll
out
be
and vote.
here before you
support
know
me.
it, won't it?
Yeah, we're 2 months away in a couple days. So
Yeah.
you know, it's been campaigning a long time already, almost a
No
year.
question
so,
about it. And
looking
of course,
forward.
you're back to the law offices of Falk
Falk
and Curtis.
Yeah,
is that
heading
right?
there right now. So got
All
some work
right,
to do.
hey, listen, treat them right. Now, how often do they have those donuts next door?
You know, we don't ever get donuts from over there.
But how often do they have them? Do you know?
I think they do them every day.
Boy, they
Yeah,
got great
I think they
donuts,
do, yeah.
especially their cinnamon rolls. Are
They have
wonderful.
some good stuff. Yeah, they really
I'm
do.
going to Bird Drugs for breakfast this morning. Come join me. Have a great day.